and welcome to the Back Podcast, Australia's favourite gaming podcast, as voted on by us, the hosts of the Back Podcast, Australia's favourite gaming podcast. It's Monday, the 28th of February, 2022. I'm Nick Richardson, and today I'm joined by Peter Burns.
Hello.
And comedian, actor, singer, and streamer, John Raskopoulos.
Thank you. I'm glad that streamer gets added to all of those other hats that I wear.
When is it going to be added when I Google your name and your Wikipedia page comes up? When is streamer going to be added to that? Can someone who knows how to use Wikipedia who's watching that out?
Yeah, someone update my Wikipedia page. Because
I'll make those changes.
A lot of my Wikipedia page, I believe, is devoted to the time I tried to steal a Logie.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't steal.
I didn't steal, but I
tried to.
I got the internet to vote for me to win a silver Logie.
Right.
Even though I only played like a minor role in a telemovie about Julian Assange, I was eligible. And then there was a big brouhaha about who should and should not be able to get votes for their Logie and the manner in which those votes might be acquired.
Well, you don't want a brouhaha on your hands.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous, though, because you could have put in the greatest like you could just say 2 lines and they're the most believable, well-delivered lines, and that's better than, everything that Alf has done on Home and Away.
Exactly. So don't make me eligible if you don't want me to go to internet forums and get them to vote for me.
Exactly.
Totally. And can it be classified as stealing if the thing that is being quote-unquote stolen has no value?
Yeah. Hey, no, they make great, they're really heavy. They make great doorstops.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Right. So you meant stealing in the terms of like X was robbed.
Exactly.
Of a silver Logie. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the same way that Scott Cam steals a Logie every time he wins. It's just like, really? That's the bar. For those of you watching who don't know John, do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on the internet?
Yeah, look, I am, what you'd call a Renaissance polymath. I do lots of different stuff, mostly funny things, occasionally earnest as well as funny. And I've been making content for, a decade and a half, and at the moment found a home on Twitch doing weird comedy streams and occasionally playing games, and recently blown up on TikTok because of just spitting facts about games.
TikTok's not ready for the truth.
Yeah,
it's true. And we'll get to that later. And before we do, what games are you playing at the moment? What's caught your eye?
Yeah, at the moment I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm savoring it. It's like a lovely, expensive bottle of alcohol that I've been given for Christmas that I'm just trying to like make last. And I'm also, I don't know how, but I got stuck into Elite Dangerous, and that has got me. I bought a flight stick. I've got a good time. I'm having a good time there.
Awesome.
And a bunch of mobile games that I'm ashamed of and won't talk about.
Oh, you got to tell us one.
No. Oh, I'm playing Clash Quest.
Wait, which Clash? Is there a new Clash?
There's a newer Clash that's kind of a puzzle game, but it's not really. It just has like the veneer of being a puzzle game.
Okay.
Where you have like a grid of warriors and you've got to make them match up, and if you've got so many matching up, then they all fight off and they get an attack bonus, and it is what it is.
Cool. So a little bit like an auto chessy style thing, or
kind of, yeah.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing. It feels
What's
like
it
a puzzle.
called?
A Clash Quest.
Clash Quest. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I mean, I got into Clash Royale so much.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I was addicted to that, and I haven't found a good mobile game in a while.
Don't play this.
It's
just a poker machine.
That's true. I'll need to resist. Well, we're very excited to have you on the show today, and we're also very excited because today's episode of the Back Podcast, Peter Burns, is powered by Pixel Beans Coffee, who have come on board all the show all month. You can get your back pocket fix once a week, but make sure you get your coffee fix daily with Pixel Beans. Pixel Beans are the nerdiest coffee roasters in Australia. It's a fact. They sent me pictures of them in high school. And if I was in high school at the same time as then, I would have been like,
thickest glasses you've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. and then punched myself. They've min-maxed their process to get you the best tasting coffee imaginable. Beans include the Power Up, Rainbow Road Respawn, Sonic Boom, and their premium espresso blend. And the one I drink daily, Flawless Victory. Head to pixelbeans.com.au and use the code BACKPOCKET when you check out to get 20% off your purchase. Send us a picture of you drinking your Pixel Beans coffee out of a Pixel Beans mug using the code BACKPOCKET. And our favorite one this month will win themselves a BackPocket mug to enjoy that coffee out of. That's pixelbeanscoffee.com.au using the code BACKPOCKET for 20% off your purchase. I think I may have said then send us a picture of you drinking out of Pixel Beans mug.
Yeah.
And I meant drinking Pixel Beans coffee out of a Pixel Beans mug.
Right. So you need to have a mug in order to win a mug.
Yeah. You need to have arguably a harder to get mug than the one that we're going to send you. Or you could take a white mug and draw the Pixel Beans logo on it. You can do that as well.
Okay.
So thank you to Pixel Beans Coffee for getting me out of bed in the morning and getting us started on the show. And speaking of starting the show, Peter, the news is not going to break itself. The Backup is presented by our Top Stitch patron and the best evil person we know, anyone who spoils anything from the Carabao Cup. Last time it was the Super Bowl, and now it's the Carabao Cup. No one can talk about sports in the chat because they haven't caught up on anything. Sorry, I mean, it's brought by Evil Spy Boy. Get your exclamation mark Spy Boys out in the chat. Thanks to his generous Patreon support, Evil Spy Boy is bringing you the backup, and he's hoping you bring the generosity to Food Bank Australia. Food Bank provides regular breakfast to more than 132,000 students at schools across the country, and on top of this, more than 200,000 children seek food relief from their charities every month. Donate at foodbank.org.au and head to tasteofmultifish.com for more about Evil Spy Boy's proclivities. And also, before we get started, I should say, the world is an incredibly fucked up place at the moment, and we are aware that just terrible things are happening everywhere. If you know people in the Ukraine that are affected, or Russia that are affected by what's going on there, then we hope that those people are safe. If you're affected by the flooding that's happening in Australia at the moment, we hope that you are safe. We're about to talk about video games for an hour, which seems really dumb and stupid, but sometimes
this has all been literally underscored by Ryu has a reasonably large penis.
Look, I got a comment on TikTok which was like, "Oh, thank God you're doing stupid stuff because there is so much horror at the moment. So good on us for lifting, buoying people's spirits."
Are we the real heroes?
We are the real heroes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, get us started, Jordan, with a story that this week made you back up and say, hey, that's a pretty big story.
Oh, pretty big. Yeah, huge.
Big.
Addresses to the right. So Street Fighter 6 got announced. We got a pretty crazy logo. But we got finally what everybody has been looking for, which is just a little bit more genital definition on the male characters in video games. Like, I think for too long we've been focused on the groins of and the bust of female characters, and it's nice to have the coin flipped in the other direction. And we see here, we definitely, that's a lot of definition. Like, you can definitely see where there is a ball, and you can definitely see a glans, and you can definitely see that Ryu is circumcised. So,
a lot of detail. Yeah. It's amazing what video games can render these days.
I would have, honestly, my headcanon has presumed uncircumcised all these years, and I'm having a really hard time. Ken is circumcised in my head, but I think Ryu would be,
Well, I actually feel cheated by this, and I think I'm just going to harass the devs until they Sonic this and put the foreskin back in.
Okay. I thought you meant give Sonic a penis.
Give Sonic a dick as well. Hashtag give
Sonic 2 is still coming out. They've got time. There's time.
I mean, there is, I wonder what the limit is that if internet outrage reached even higher levels than the first Sonic one, if they would give Sonic a dick in the second film, because it's just like, people are saying it. It worked the first time.
Mm-hmm. So for you're saying you're a Ryu intactivist?
I am. Yes, I believe. Yeah, don't touch my boy when he was a boy.
Release the Snyder uncut.
Oh yeah, that's what they're waiting for.
That's great. It's also got a real heft to it as well, which I think is great. Like, there's a sense of weight, which I think is important in a fighting game.
I mean, also, I did martial arts for a number of years, and I used to have a penis, and you have to protect that thing.
That's true.
The fact that he is going, he's freeballing.
He's not snapping it down.
There's no underwear.
Doing all those flips, those kicks, those whatevers. He's going to get himself in a tangle. He's going to give himself like a testicular injury at the very least.
That's true.
Without even taking into account the very real fact he got kicked in the nuts.
He could be. It's incredible.
For me, it's that it's down the right pant leg. I don't know anyone who doesn't lean to the left. Maybe it's just the southern. Is it a hemisphere thing?
Well, maybe, yeah. It could be. It could be like the water draining.
Yeah.
See, I'm dead left. Also, down the pant leg is the impressive thing. Like, you know, admittedly,
I'm not going down
tucking,
any leg.
I'm tucking pant leg in. I'm tucking my boys into some pretty serious boxer briefs. But even if I let it go, it's not reaching halfway to the knee like this is.
No,
so.
I mean the thing is as well, like a karate uniform, a karate gi has like an expanded, gusset so that you can perform those kicks. So the fact is, we are, like things, in the mirror of a car. They may be larger than they seem. So I think we're actually like, it's bigger than that, is what we're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
It is bigger.
That's true.
Particularly if he shaved his pubis, he's gonna look huge naked.
Yeah. It's the big reason why he doesn't wear like shorts like Sagat.
Because it would just dangle out.
It would just dangle.
I like the idea that this could be a finishing move. Is like he does a high jump kick and then he lands and the third leg whips out and just annihilates the other.
Wouldn't that be amazing in Mortal Kombat?
That would be incredible. And I mean, all of this is fucking ridiculous. But at the same time, you bring up a very good point, which is particularly fighting games. Infamous for just ridiculous proportions on women the entire time, and the men are always seen as, like most of the time, incredibly muscular, but not sort of like sexualized in that way. Like they're so muscular, it's almost not sexy.
I mean, it's that Ken doll thing of like Ken has built-in underwear.
Yeah, totally. This is as wide as the characters have ever been.
It's ridiculous. Like, I believe this character is Luke, who was teased at the end of Street Fighter. I saw a bunch of Street Fighter fans going like, at the end of the Street Fighter 5, they teased Luke, and then they announced Street Fighter 6 with Luke, and they're like, "Yep, we're not lying." And it's like, oh, that's not as exciting as we thought it was because you already showed us this at the end of the last one.
But just another guy who belongs in the 90s.
Exactly. Are you a fighting game fan? I mean, you do have a small affinity for Street Fighter in your streams.
Pardon me, I've got a big cough. I love the 2D fighting games. Street Fighter 2 was like most of my childhood, and I spent a lot of time in the Alpha series. I played a lot of Street Fighter 4. Didn't kind of skip 5, but I think I may come back. I built myself a fight stick for my PC. Ordered a bunch of Sanwa buttons from overseas and built one. So it might be time to dig that out.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I just dabble in the fighting series, but in all fighting series. But Street Fighter definitely appeals to me the most because it's not just about like violence. Like a Mortal Kombat is just about how can I
violence.
Gore violence?
It's true. There's always a spy story or something else going on.
Yeah, this is like always like
Dancing with Gorbachev,
cheeky and funny. This logo is awful.
Oh,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Just like
got it for $5.
I saw that it's actually basically a rip-off
like
of an existing clip art logo. The 6 on there is terrible. I mean, that really feels like someone went, we're doing a live stream today, and I was like, shit.
Oh my god,
I forgot.
It can also be that sign of the times of like, if you make something good, people don't talk about it. So you make something that's part of it that's a little bit bad, and then suddenly that gets you trending.
Yeah,
so
true.
Be wrong on purpose.
And this game had 3 things trending for it. It had the logo, it had the dick, and it had the feet.
None of that was accident.
Of the feet. None of it is accident. Like the foot shot is gratuitous. In terms of like width of character as well, they are just. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan. Ryo used to be a human, right? Not whatever this is.
Maybe it's
absolutely.
just supposed to be in 3x4. Maybe it's not supposed to be in widescreen. Maybe we've just got the aspect ratios wrong.
Could be onto something there. And that would explain this as well.
Yeah.
It should be less chodish.
Yeah.
It's just as long, but it's just much thinner. Good. Well, that's kind of all the info we got about Street Fighter at the moment. But as you said, it really did set the internet ablaze. So looking forward to that one. Speaking of setting the internet ablaze, Pete, over the weekend, a bunch of new stuff got revealed. What's your big story for this week?
Yeah, well, it was actually at 1 a.m. this morning that the Pokemon Presents rolled out. The latest update for what's happening across the Pokemon game series and broader as well. And we learned about, bringing script up, because it was kind of like they do it every time. They save the best for last. And it's like, I'm watching at 1 o'clock in the morning, like, do I really want to be here for the Pokemon Masters EX update?
Yeah.
Is this why I'm tired every day? Because I'm about the Pokemon Masters EX? No. But Pokemon Go, they started with Pokemon Go. It's getting the Sun and Moon Pokemon come across. So there's like 80-something Pokemon getting added to the Pokedex of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Masters EX is like that like loot box gambling game, but they're getting a boss rush mode where you fight along the victory road, which is pretty cool for anyone who plays that, I'm sure. The Pokemon Cafe remix. Did you know there's a game called Pokemon Cafe?
I did. I played it.
So you might be able to inform me, because I watch it and I'm aware of the game existing, but I'm not really like fully across the systems. But they've introduced Pelipper, the for Nick here, the Pelican Pokemon, which is going to be able to deliver items across the world for you. Is that an efficiency thing? Is that what people have been asking for in Pokemon Cafe?
Have people been asking for a pelican to?
I feel like I've oversold my qualifications to talk on this game.
Pokemon Cafe?
When I say I've played it for 20 minutes.
Okay, good.
It was just like mixing drinks for Pokemon. I'm like, well, if I'm going to mix drink, I'll mix them for myself. Look, if it's your jam, then sweet. Like, if you're happy about that, a pelican can, I guess an Uber Eats situation, is that what we're talking like, your Pokemon, they're contractors, they're not actually employees, so you don't have to pay them like sick leave and stuff. Is that what's going on?
That must be it. Yeah.
The can I just say, on
preparing for the real world, like all good Pokemon games should.
Yeah, he's got his little branded backpack, but it's a different brand to your brand. He's absolutely a contractor.
I do like this art style. This is very cute. Like this.
Yeah, totally.
This appeals to me more than actual Pokemon.
Actual Pokemon have been using the same sprites for 15 years, haven't they?
Yeah, totally. Also, I did just want to say the guy who was presenting the Pokemon Go update was the best dressed person I've ever seen in a Pokemon.
He looks great.
Look how sharp this guy is.
And he's got a very nice salt and pepper going on.
Oh, totally. And I bet he's
streaks.
packing just meat down that.
I was going to say, I was holding my tongue, but no, you can't.
Pokemon Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl have just like an event which introduces this Shaman.
Yeah.
Shaman Pokemon, which is everyone likes it because it's fucking cute. So that's cool. But Arceus is what kind of like the big new, the hot newness. So it's got the 1.1 update, which is adding some more trainer battle stuff at hometown, and a quest thread that's attached to the mass outbreaks. Which by this trailer, it looks like of alpha Pokemon apparently.
Okay. Glad there's no COVID in Pokemon.
You cannot escape. So the mass outbreaks of alphas is going to excite particularly the people that are shiny hunting at the moment, I think, because like a shiny alpha is like next level. So people are going to be going to all the outbreaks they can to try and find a shiny of a big version of the Pokemon that they like.
So sorry, does that mean they're not actually adding new Pokemon? They're adding sort of like higher levels of existing ones, which will help people finish their Pokedex and stuff.
So this existed in the main in 1.0. The ideas of mass outbreaks in the different regions. You could see that in the overworld map and see that there was a group of, like we're seeing on screen now, a group of a particular kind of Pokemon. It was like, alert, this kind of Pokemon is appearing en masse.
Yeah,
Come
and you
and
had a better
catch a
chance
billion
of
of them.
finding a shiny amongst the groups.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So you would go and do that anyway, but they've introduced a storyline or maybe just a quest that kind of ties into, because in the game it's a mystery as to why these things appear in groups like this randomly. So I think they've put in a little quest to explain that, which they won't explain it, or it'll be basic and unimportant, but it's really just about being able to catch a lot of Pokemon at the same time. They're making an anime as well, set in the Hisu region. This is a still from it right here. It's meant to be coming out this year. So obviously Pokemon's anime has been around for, I don't know, 30 years now. What are we at? Wow, a Pokemon anime, says Mido Fanfare? Yes, a new Pokemon anime.
And this is from the Arceus.
Yeah, so it'll be set in the time and in the region, which is at least a nice spin on the formula of, because it doesn't matter what hat Ash is wearing because he's in a new region. He's doing the same bloody thing.
Yeah, he's being 10 and not quite as good at Pokemon as he should be by now.
Yeah. He really was the prodigy that continued to disappoint.
Yeah. Like so many of us.
Early. Yeah, totally.
Told we were gifted as children.
You're special.
As adults with ADHD. Yeah.
So good.
But the huge news came right at the end, which was that there is a new entry to the mainline series coming out, which is Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And it's going to be an open world game in the style of Arceus. And it's releasing later this year as well, which to me is scary because it means it's going to be the same as Arceus and not have any improvements, though it does look a bit more colorful.
Yeah, I feel like Arceus may have been like the tester to
tech.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited. Like, I only just caught the news as I woke up before dialing in, so I had presumed it was kind of going back to the mainline formula, and hearing that it's going to be a little bit more like Arceus, I'm quite excited because I think I, like many, had kind of fatigue for the formula that has been pretty similar since the 90s. And I found Arceus so refreshing and fun, and reinvigorated my love for the little bloody pocket monsters. So yeah, I'm fizzing at the bumhole now. That's unrelated. That's unrelated.
I'm sure there's a medication for that.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I really, really liked the systems of Arceus, but I found the world so unappealing visually. Just so muddy, and I was talking to Nick about it earlier, of how they've gone for like, well, it's back in time, so everything needs to be a little bit like softer on the palette, sepia-ish. But this is like, Pokemon is colorful. Let's go hard. The town looks big and pretty. The little panning shot of the bedroom is like, let's just do bold, like rich colors, and I think it's going to be just a much nicer to be in the world because of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's also reflective of real life. Like, it's much nicer to have like air conditioning and things nowadays than in the past where they just had fans.
Yeah, totally. And I think you can like, the amount of like load on the system it takes to render a spinning fan is much greater than just a little white box in the corner.
Yeah, right.
Doing the air conditioning. Yeah. So just efficiencies across the board, I think,
I think the fact that they've gone back to just like a color name as well.
That's like, interesting, isn't it?
That kind of suggests a new start, going back to, not red and blue, but almost like this is a new beginning.
Yeah, totally. These are the starters.
I mean, these starters, they fuck. I love these. That duck is absolutely
I'm so here for the duck. I really hope that his final evolution is in a sailor suit with no pants.
Oh, hell yes.
I love that he's
everyone's calling that Donald at the start of their quest.
But it's like what I thought was a hat is actually hair. Because
it's the JoJo's
which is great.
Reference.
Totally. And the little sassy hand out to the side, like, this duck doesn't take any of your shit. I think this is by far the most appealing starter set of Pokemon I've ever seen. I think all of these are great.
I do hope that the final grass evolution isn't on 2 legs and a wrestler. That would be great.
Yeah, they seem to they lean that way, don't they? These days, it's like, well, it's got to have 2 types, so it's going to be, sure, it'll be a grass Pokemon, but it will be a grass Pokemon that can definitely sumo wrestle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or it will be a fire Pokemon, but it's a fairy fire Pokemon. So it's a set of keys at the end. Or it's just a living fireplace.
Set of fucking keys, yeah, totally. I mean, I don't know about you two, but I was incredibly surprised this is coming out, not only announced, but coming out this year. That I thought that Arceus, people seem to, with the exception of like how it looked, people seem pretty hot on the open world aspect of it and the changes. And the question was, are we going to see this Legend series spin-off in that direction and the mainline series just stay with what they're doing? The answer seems to be no, and the mainline series is taking on this. Jordan, do you think that it's a good idea releasing two huge Pokemon games that are basically the same thing, just with a diffent look?
I mean, they do that every time they release a Pokemon game.
That's true.
I mean, so you're
got you there.
Pokemon games.
Look, I think one of the things with Arceus is like as enjoyable as it was, people did burn through it quickly and get to the end game content pretty quick. So I don't think I think by the end of the year people will be ready for this. I really like it as well.
Me too.
Just the kind of South American aspect to the design of a lot of the like the buildings and things that were in the trailer. And I'm noticing Spirigatito, it has, it probably has like a ghost type, and we're going to have a Day of the Dead aesthetic as my prediction.
I did see on Twitter this morning some people hunting stuff down, particularly in the live action part of the trailer, pointing towards Spain being where it's kind of like based on, which is really cool as well.
Okay, well, Spain is not in South America, but yeah, that's probably
but
aesthetic.
Different kinds of Spanish.
Different types of Spanish. Yeah.
I think this is cool, and probably an indication that like they can't go back now to the old style of Pokemon once you've put this game out. What do you reckon, Pete?
The only thing that like I still enjoy, because I don't play every mainline game when it comes out, because of the fatigue of it being the same game that I played in 1996 or whatever. Still, I do like how linear they are. Like they're literally like follow the path and you will finish the game. There's something about the simplicity of that design that does still appeal to me. And to go full open world in the way that Arceus does, of having like a few zones that the story is happening in, I think they'll need to drastically improve the way they do that open world storytelling to make it feel like, because for me, Arceus didn't have like a story journey. It certainly didn't have gyms, and I don't think I need gyms, but it didn't have like a story journey that I was excited about following. It was kind of just like I was excited about the next area, but not who I was going to encounter in the next area. And I would like for there to be some, and I don't know exactly what it is, but by reducing the idea of this map that you start in one spot and slowly make your way around it, there was something nice about the way that you could feel the sense of progression of the game through that. And that's lost with the zones being open a bit for me. So I don't know. I think if there's fun characters to interact with and more characters to interact with in the open world, and for them to feel a bit more lively, in the sense that part of what Arceus did was say that humans are scared of Pokemon still because we're way back when. So it didn't make sense for there to be a lot of people out in the open world interacting with Pokemon because they were in towns behind walls safe.
Yeah,
but this is a modern setting. Everyone
like
loves Pokemon.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, getting the Pikachu, Shinji.
Yeah. But here there's not really any excuse for there to not be a really like robust living world in the open world. So I hope that that's a thing. There's more buildings out there. There's more reasons to be interacting with people out there, because I love the catching mechanic and the mechanics of interacting with the Pokemon in the open world setting. So excited that that's part of the mainline.
Yeah, great. Very exciting and very surprising. Nintendo and Game Freak continue to just play by their own rules and do whatever the fuck they want, and that's nice. I'll tell you what I'm not excited about, which is my story, which is that Square Enix came out last week and said that Guardians of the Galaxy did not meet their sales expectations. That they said, despite strong reviews, it undershot their initial expectations. And the reason that I'm not happy about this is it probably means we're not going to get another Guardians of the Galaxy game anytime soon, which is a shame because it was one of my favorite games last year. Pete, I know you loved it as well. Jordan, did you play Guardians?
I loved it so much. Like I've been a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy since the fan at Comic-Con. It met all my expectations.
And
yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's special because it far exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect there to be such an emotional story told after seeing this trailer, and it was so beautiful. So the little bit of fear that it might not get a follow up, which will, I think, only improve on a brilliant formula, is concerning.
Yeah, because and Minnow Fanfare points out in the chat, but one of the big problems is that Square Enix always just have ridiculous sales expectations for their games because they think that every game they make is going to sell like Final Fantasy.
This is the one,
and that it's like the same thing happened with Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They said it got up to a weak start despite selling 4 million copies in 1 month. Just Cause 4, same thing happened there. Obviously, Marvel Avengers was disappointing. They scrapped Deus Ex Mankind Divided. They scrapped a reboot of Deus Ex because they thought Mankind Divided was underwhelming. And they're basically always comparing it to something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, which sold 3 million copies in 1 day. And it's weird because I'm like, I really liked the Tomb Raider reboot. I loved Guardians so much. And the idea that something, if it doesn't live up to the greatest, biggest thing of all time, then we're disappointed in it, is also a bit of a shame because I saw all the developers and stuff all saying, it's exceeding everything that we thought it would be doing in the first place. It just bums me out because I'm like, I loved the way that they told the story. I wasn't as big a fan of the gameplay, but the narrative and the dialogue and the way that these characters interact with each other it's hard to do in video games. And Jordan, I really feel like it nailed it with this one.
Totally. And I think you nailed on one of the points I was going to make as well. Is it did the gameplay for me wasn't, it felt very samey to a lot of AAA games, and I feel like it doesn't have to be a AAA game. Like if they deliver a follow up that has this writing, this voice acting, I can play a simpler game and enjoy this kind of story. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it also felt like one of those games where it's like, oh, I can imagine how much better a sequel will be, how much they can shine those rough edges around everything because the base was so good, and continuing this version of a group of characters. I did not come into 2020 thinking I would be excited for a Guardians anything really, because I've never really been a huge fan of it. And I came out of it going like, I love this group so much. And I was so sure that I knew that it wasn't blowing up, but I was so sure that it was like, no, because it's so critically acclaimed and everyone who plays it actually really loves it. If you make another one that, builds on the success of this, inevitably it will be successful, but maybe not. And I just don't understand how big Japanese businesses work. I never claimed to be fair, Pete. I've never said I was an expert.
Well, you feel like one to me, so now I'm sad because you've said that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we just all need to go out and buy another copy.
That's what we need to do. Yeah. We could, with us and everyone watching in chat, we could easily get. If everyone in chat already has it, we could get another 500-600 copies of this game, which I think would probably tip it over.
That change their minds.
Yeah, and add a rocket dick as well to the trailer for the next one, and
That's
you can
it.
get the attention that you're
Yeah, we want rockets, double-headed penis.
All right,
that's
literally
law.
all the video
That's
game
canon.
news. That's canon. And that's what you say when you see that dick. That's canon. That's literally all the video game news that happened this week.